Hi, I'm Dr. Wade McNair, and on this episode of The Word, we're going to talk about the word change. Now, for many of you, you just got stressed out by hearing that word. So let's take a step back so that we can rationally look at this concept of change, this word we use all the time. To change our clothes, to change attire, I'm dealing with change, I'm changing my job, I'm changing my habits, whatever it may be. Change is part of our human experience. So let's start by defining the word. The very first part is a process. Change is a process. And that process goes from a position of now to a position of next. So if we think about change is simply the process of going from now to next, we have our definition. And it's a process that is used on multiple levels. It's a change that can happen in our own body. Every day we grow a little bit. Every day we experience change in our bodies. In addition, we experience change in our groups. We experience change in our communities. And we experience change in the world around us. We can change our thoughts. We can change our feelings. We can change our clothes. There's so many elements of what change looks like, but they all come down to this one definition, the process of going from now to whatever is next. Let's take just a couple of minutes and talk about some of the assumptions of change. Some of the things that we may know, but we don't actually take a moment to talk about. The first is going to be what causes change. Well, there's really three things that cause change. The first two, we don't have a lot of control over. That's crisis and chance, right? Crisis being changes that have an immediate impact on multiple areas of life and end up pulling attention and focus that changes on a massive scale. A great example of that is the pandemic that we're now currently in. We've had to change the way we interact with people. We are going to change the way we work from in-office to Zoom. We've changed the way we shop. We changed the way we think about our interactions with other people. And those changes that we're making are changes that are based on a crisis that we didn't have any control over. However, we do have control over how we respond to it and to each other. The second one is chance. Chance is those incidents, those impacts, those moments, those situations, those occurrences that seem to just happen by luck, positive, fate, or just random. And whether it's crisis or chance, those are things we have very little control over. What we do have control over at all times is our choice. And that's really the third primary cause of change. And that is when we choose for ourselves to change. We choose to get a new job. We choose to make a decision to have a baby. Whatever those things may be, personal or professional, we make choices every day that move us from the position of now to a position of next. So when we think about that, really the primary causes of change are not as important as our choices are in how we respond to it. A couple of other assumptions about change I want to just touch base with. The next one is that in our brains, in our thinking capacity, in our neurology, change happens. It's just information to process. It is neither good nor bad. In a nutshell, change is what it is. It's simply a process of going from now to next. A new condition or a new situation, which we then have to choose whether we adapt to it or whether we resist. So again, change being neither good nor bad, it comes really down to our own ability to choose. Assumption number 3 is that we're human beings, and you know what we are? We go through change, but we go through change predictably. We develop through a pattern of life that is predictable from infancy to adulthood. We actually handle change in a systematic and sequential, predictable way. And understanding how people handle change similarly allows us to be more aware of our choices when change happens, not only to ourselves, but to others as well. And as we go through those 6 stages of change, we're able to look at the choices we make during each stage on how to think, how to feel, and how to behave. The fourth and final assumption is that there are characteristics of change that are unpredictable, and that's because we're all individuals. We are unique. And even though we experience change in the same similar sequential steps, the intensity and how long we experience each one of those stages is really a very personal process. It's a personal experience and will be based on, well, the importance, priority, or the situation that we're in. So change has causes. It's neither good nor bad. We go through it in sequences, predictably, and yet it is also very personal. But in a nutshell, change is about the choices we make when going through the process of now to next. If you want to learn more about change and our choice to adapt, I wrote a book called Adaptability. It's available on Amazon and in your local bookstores. For more information, you can go to drwademcnair.com. Remember that today is your choice. What you do is your choice. How you think is your choice. And the quality and the betterment of your life is ultimately your choice too. So, choose to have a great day.